Boom, boom. This is Ken. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, got a bit of Azur Lane on tap today. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at. So the event's going to be ending here in about 2 or 3 days. I think it's going to be on the 12th, which is about 3 days from now. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at and what you want to be focusing on right now, since we're starting to get towards the end of the event. All right, so you definitely want to have Thuringen by now. It's very easy to get. You only need to get 10,000 to get the first copy. That's all you need is one copy. Of course, you can use Bolins, of course, to finish out the actual limit breaking, but you need to have her to get started. But of course, you get her based on collecting the actual event currency, which in this event is called Shattered Crest. Okay, so you get her by doing that, and you'll be able to get sedlets here in the shop as well too, so you don't need to worry about her as well, because she's one of the ships that you're going to want to complete as well. So you definitely want to have Thuringen by now, and you want to start working on it. So what I do, I handle it simple. Once I get a ship that is part of the limit breaking event, I put it in the dorm. Okay, I'll throw a couple of data packs at it to get it up around 30 or 40. Then I'll throw it in dorm to finish for the last 30 or so. You just need to get it to 70 because that's all you need to max limit break. So get it to 70 and limit break. It's all you need to do. But you need to get the ship. So Little Prince, you should have finished this quite some time ago, as should you have finished this some time ago. This just gave you a nice little castle throne for your dorm, and this just gives you Little Prince Eugen. Of course, not an in-game ship, so there is that. And then the actual event that we're running, and then the blueprints. So as for me, I'm in pretty good shape at this point in time. You want to get 3,000, of course, as your total. I already have 1,400, okay? And I have the following ships that I'll be able to complete the limit-breaking event on and get them. So let's take a look at the dock. Ironblood here. So I've got York and Elbing. I just got those about 3 or 4 days ago. I got Elbing. Got York. Then like 2 days ago, I got Elbing. You'll be able to. So the only ship I don't have right now is Letzau. So I'm still working on her. But I've got Elbing and York, and we've got Thuringen right there, and I've got Emden right here. So I have those 4 ships. So Sedlets is 600. I got 400 for Elbing, 400 for York. So that's going to give me a total of 1,800. Okay. Once I finish limit breaking, I already finished her, so she's already in the total. So once I finish Thuringen, Sedlets, who's in the shop, Elbing and York, that'll give me another 1,800, combined with the 1,400 that I already have in there. And it's going to give me a total of 3,200, and you only need 3,000. So I will be able to complete the event, and I'm just hoping to get Letzau. That's where it's at that point. But I will be able to complete it, and that is because I did those other events as well. These really came in handy. These events right here came in handy. This is the only one left because I don't have a Kagi. Yeah, I've spent weeks and succeeded in getting probably 15 Kagas, but no Akagi. So that's just the way it is. So I'll keep doing 3-4 in spare time as well too, and just farm it some more and more until I actually get her. Yeah, so I was not able to do that, but I did do the others. Did do the ones that had all the other ships in them, and that's what gave me enough to get the 3,200, 200 above what I needed to get the actual event and getting the ships. So Letzau is the only one that I haven't got yet, but we still got 3 days. And my cubes are not, you don't want to go too much above or below 200. 200 is the UR pity break limit for your UR ships, and that's probably what's going to be coming out sometime, probably in the next month or two. So you don't want to go too far below 200. You want to try to make sure that when that UR event starts, you do have the 200 cubes that you will need in case it comes to the point where you just don't get lucky and need to go all the way to the pity to get her. I've never had to do that. I've came close on Shinano, but I've never actually hit the pity. I usually get the ship within usually fairly decent time. I actually have had a pretty good luck, but the rate is up during those, so it's not surprising. So yeah, Salitz is in the shop. I've got Emden, Elbing, and York, so I just need to get my hands on Let's Al. So hopefully we'll build her within the next. We'll get her within the next couple of days, and I won't have to go too far below 200, and successful in getting her. But yeah, so the event went pretty good. I finished out the sorties quite some time ago. Doing the SP. I've run the EX a couple of times, and I've gotten pretty low. I've gotten down to where she was about 19 before I died. So I'm gonna have to do some more testing. That was just the first shot, but it's basically just a lot of damage. So you basically need to have healing, and you want to try to bring in but it's just hard. You want to try to bring in your most powerful ships. And try to get it knocked out. But you should be doing the SP stage daily. It's not that difficult. Once you finish it once, you can just auto it. So I auto it each day. It's like 800, so it's really good. And as you can see, I'm just shy of 30,000. So a little bit lower than what I wanted to be. I wanted to be closer to 35 at this time. But the problem I'm running into right now is oil-based. But I got the oil today, as you know, is the day. It's Monday. So we get the 4,000. So I have the 4,000 from here, from the shop. We'll go ahead and get that. So this is the free. So you get the 4,000 in here. This is weekly. That'll bring me back up to 46.2. I'm going to throw in. I've been saving this right here. This is the compensation. But there's 3,000 in here. So I'm going to be almost, close to 9,000 oil. So I'm back up, so I'm going to start pounding, and pounding away on it for the next 3 days to get up to between 35 and 40. Because I'm probably going to have to build Sedlitz. I could get lucky and get her over the next 3 days as well too, but probably going to end up. Truth being, I'll probably have to get her from the shop. So I'm going to need that. So I want to get close to 40. So yeah. So now that I was waiting for Monday to do my big farm because I needed the oil, so now I'll be able to do it with that. I'll be able to get me back up to a little bit more than half, and then I'll just run it back down again. And it should get me to within 4,000, or get me to close to 40,000 over the next few days. I think we've got 3 days because it ends on the 12th. So that's where it's at on that. So yeah, it's moving along. I mean, it was a really good event. The story was excellent. The Count's escape room vampire-ish theme was pretty cool as well. And then Little Prince Eugen was nice as well too. That makes the second ship we got. We got Little Renown, now we've got Little Prince Eugen. I assume they're going to have pretty much all of the. I'm not exactly sure how they're choosing which ships to do it on, but I'm sure there'll be more of them. But all the other events were excellent. The stories were excellent. It was funny. The Tales from the Count's Cast, that was funny. A little bit of comedy light in there. And the actual, as I said before in the last video, the call to arms, Ironblood was an excellent story. Just all around excellent storytelling with that nice twist at the end. So it was very, 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 very good story. So anybody who hasn't finished it, definitely go ahead and knock that out. But yeah, so the events in terms of the sorties were not really that difficult. I was able to beat D3 with one full team and then another team of ships that I'm working on building up without much trouble. The EX, the SP, of course, you want to throw in some. You want to just. It's best. I actually ran the first time I ran it. I did it with one full fleet and then my mini fleet, which is what I call it, which is the ships that I'm actually building up. But there are certain levels and stuff. You have to get a certain amount of evasion stats and whatnot to be able to qualify. So I had to make a slight adjustment to that to do it. But over the past couple times, I've just been, you auto it after you do it the first time. You can just auto it each day. Okay, so it's not something that you need, So I just have just two teams, pretty decent ships, and not having much trouble. I put a Yuho in one of the groups for healing and put San Fran in the other one for some healing, and I can just let it go and let it run. Don't even have to, don't even have to monitor it, and it completes fine by itself. So that's not that big a deal, and that's a good way to get 800. So that alone over the next 3 days, that's going to give, that's, you know, that's really, really good, helpful. Having an extra 2,400 just from that, as well as what you get from the missions and whatnot from doing certain stuff a day. So 40,000 should not be difficult to get. Yeah, the last couple of days have been pretty slow simply because of the fact that I was running a little bit low on oil. So I was waiting until Monday come up so I could get my free pack, and then I'm going to hit it over hard for the next 3 days. So we'll give you a run to see how much I get when it comes up, but it should be close to 40,000, which is what my goal is. But yeah, so it was an excellent event. So you got 3 more days, so I suggest getting in there and knocking it out. Of course, your goal is to actually get to 3,000 and get the limited portrait frame. That's the key to the event, and that requires the limit breaking of all of the ships that you see in the thing. So Seydlitz, Shot, and I've got Elbing, York, and Thurgeon, and build them up slowly. I've got all 3 of them. Seydlitz, I'm not going to purchase Seydlitz until the day after the event closes. You will have an extra 7 days. This will not end until the 19th, these missions. So you have until the 19th to actually limit break the ships. Okay? 18th, right here. Okay? So you'll have until the 18th to do that. So don't purchase Seydlitz until this closes. When this closes right here, when this goes away, if you don't have Seydlitz, then you get Seydlitz. Okay? Otherwise, just keep going but you might get lucky, so you won't have to spend 8,000 to get her. If I run her up within inside of the next few days, then I'll be in really, really excellent shape. Like I said, you can get by with about 35,000 or so, between 30 and 35,000. You can get by with purchasing pretty much everything you want inside the shop with that amount of currency. But if you're going to have to purchase 7, which is another 8,000, you want to get it up to about 40. Okay, and that'll allow you to purchase her and get most of the stuff inside the shop as well too. So that's what you're going for. 45 is more than enough as well too. I think, I'm not sure what the exact amount is, but it's on the low side of 40. But if you could run up a little bit short on the blueprints, it's not going to hurt anything. I really don't need a lot of those blueprints now because I've got most of the ships that I've been looking to built inside of the pre-R. So it's not as important. Those are not as important as they used to be. But if you're a newer player, you want to try to hit 45 so that you can snatch up all of the blueprints inside of the actual event shop, because those are generic blueprints which can be used on any ship. If I need blueprints right now, I can usually analyze inside of the core shop and get some of those back. So it's not that big of a deal for me anymore. So I was able to purchase to get Alaska and complete her up almost. I'm sorry, not Alaska. I keep going Anchorage. I keep getting Anchorage is in Alaska, but it's not Alaska. It's Anchorage. I don't know why I keep saying Alaska the first time I say her, but it's Anchorage, and she is right here, and she is a mated ship for PvP. So as you can see, she's already completely, I've completely maxed her out. Just waiting, for. She doesn't have a fate simulation yet, but I expect that to come. As you can see, I've got more than that. But when it does, it does. But so I'm going to be moving her into my PvP team. Once she'll probably be replacing Nishiro in the front line once she's ready. Once I get her maxed out, I'm going to take her all the way up to 125. But for right now, my PvP team is fine. I'm running Nishiro, Duca, and Shimakaze in the front, and then I've got Jersey, Vinny Torfiturio, and Aquila in the back line. That's the current team for the actual PvP. It's the prototypical team that's being used right now for most of the events. I can't run one, but I can show you the team. This is it. So I got Benito, Jersey, Aquila, and I've got Shimakaze, Duca, and then I've got Nishiro. So that's the typical team, but Nishiro is going to come out and be replaced with Alaska. Nishiro is basically a tank, but she's got good torpedo stats, and she does a buff for torpedoes. But Alaska brings in because Alaska is a sorry, Alaska, crap, Anchorage. Anchorage. If you hear me say Alaska, I'm talking about Anchorage. Okay. Anchorage is actually a PR ship, so she actually will be an excellent replacement for Noshiro. She's going to have a little bit higher stats in terms of her tankiness, and she does good torpedo damage as well too. So she seems to be she seems to replace Noshiro on the PvP meta listing right now. And this team is pretty much the torpedo damage is the first barrage. Seriously eliminates most of your actual vanguard for the other team. So this is a quick kill PvP team, which is why it's used. Okay, it's a very effective. This pretty much beats everything. What this really only loses to is the same thing, just at maybe a little bit higher level. Okay, because I haven't quite got Aquila maxed out, and there's a couple of the actual auxiliary equipment pieces on some of the that aren't quite full yet either. But for the most part, I don't even really pay much attention. I just pick one and go, and and 98% of the time I end up winning. A lot of times, if I do end up losing a look, I look it's finally a team that was pretty much had exactly the same thing I did, but just had a little bit higher stats, which is what it amounts to. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's a pretty good team. So you might want to look for that. But yeah, Anchorage is going to replace Noshiro once I get her finished. Seem to be a lot of people using it. We'll see if I get the same results or if I get better results. We'll have to see. But she is a PR ship. So she's going to be a little bit more powerful than Noshiro. But I'd also like to have that luck, because there's no PR or DR ships do not have any luck. That's the biggest knock against the priority ships, is the fact that they don't have luck unless you complete their fate simulation. Like Azuma was the first ship, DR ship, to get her fate simulation. I completed that, but I'm just waiting for the fate simulation for FTG. Because that's going to give us her luck. Because right now she doesn't have one, so she doesn't have any luck. So that unfortunately is something that they need to correct. And I believe Azuma and her both came from the season 2. See the no fate simulation. It would be right here. Azuma's already had hers right here, and I completed that. And that's where you get your luck. Okay, you see, you get 25 luck. So once we get FTG, still have 25 luck as well too. So that's just what we're waiting for. But it hasn't come out yet, which is weird because Azuma's came out quite several months ago. So I thought FTG's was going to come out shortly after that, but it hasn't. So we'll have to wait for that. But when it does come out, we're going to have to tackle that. I've got most of the actual blueprints saved up to actually complete it. Once it opens up, I'll be able to run through it pretty quick. I think I have enough to do it. I think it takes like 120 or something like that. I believe is what the stat is. It's 120, and I have 81. So I need 40 more, and I've got some blueprints saved up, and I can also analyze some inside the core shop exchange shop as well to get some as well too. So I should be able to knock it out pretty quick. Just waiting for that to open up. But yeah, and so I assume we'll be getting one for Anchorage as well. And we'll, of course, we'll knock that out when it comes out as well, too, since she is going to be in the PvP team. But that's where we're at this point. So I just want to give you an update. 3 more days. So get in there and make sure you knock that out. And like I say, best story. I'm pretty much putting this right here at the top. Okay, this was definitely one of the most exciting. It had a little bit of everything, you know. Very well told, and then that twist right at the end to make the last couple cutscenes and everything very good, and it made the story excellent. So they did a really good job, as they always do. They've always tell good stories in Azur Lane. That's one of the things I like about this game, is the fact that it's so well-rounded and well fleshed out story. Okay, so that's where we're at. So I just want to give everybody an update. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, to see the bell, click on it. Get notified each time I drop a video. Also, remember to like and share the video, as it does help the channel immensely. Can recommend action from the corner signing out.